Singapore, Namjamida, my favorite place to stream from ever in the world, my home. Welcome to a Monday morning. A very rainy, stormy Monday morning. I wake up still all dark looking and raining heavily. And therefore, today I decided to stream from home. See, right now it's about 10:30 a.m. and outside it's still raining and gloomy looking. So So I'm thinking like, why go out in the rain when I can stream from my all-time favorite place, which is my home? My at home is still where I love to stream most. Like this is my most favorite streaming place. Not only am I getting a really great angle here, I'm saving time from having to walk from place to place, and I can talk as loud as I like without nobody telling me shh, 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 shh. Even yesterday in the book cafe, I got someone coming in, shh, 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 me. I know. Do I talk that loudly, guys? Do I really talk that loud? But not all my life, like a lot of people have told me I talk very loudly before. Hi, Roy. Good Monday afternoon, Roy Lee from. Oh, sorry. Where are you watching from? Sorry, I don't want to make an assumption because it's been a very long time since I saw your name, so I can't remember really well. From Singapore. Okay. Good Monday afternoon, Singapore. Oh, so at this time in Singapore, it's like what, 3 p.m. Singapore? So you should be one of those working from home as well. Yeah? Otherwise, you won't have time to watch. Yep, afternoon 3 p.m. WFH. I don't know what's WFH. I know what's WTF. What the fuck, yeah? But what's WFH? First time I'm seeing this. Work from home. All these are new internet terms that I wouldn't know. How lie? Long time no see. Thought you mati. Guys, this proves again one thing. Like this thing I always say. I don't surf the internet. I don't chit chat on the internet. I don't do pretty much nothing on the internet except trade options. That's why I don't know all these new terms. I don't know all these new jargons, in the world. Like basically I think it will come to a point of time where if I keep up this lifestyle, right, in about 5 to 10 years time, maybe I won't understand modern English anymore. Just like how English and all other languages, not all other languages, some languages don't evolve much, like Korean and Japanese didn't evolve much. Mandarin evolved a lot over the past 10 years. English evolved a lot. So I would say in about 5 to 10 years time, maybe I won't understand the English and the Mandarin that people speak. But Korean and Japanese remains pretty much steady and constant for centuries. No big change. And guys, you see, I cut my own hair. Now you don't get, when your fringe is too long, you get bad hair day every other day. Once your fringe is at the sweet spot, yeah, of course I still need to cut a little bit more here. Just this little bit I need to cut. But once your fringe is in the sweet spot, you don't get bad hair day anymore. Yeah, I realize bad hair day is just this, no? When your fringe keeps coming down and you push it one side and it looks ugly to one side and then you won't stay like this and then you get bad hair day. Lately I've been making videos about this hairstyle thing, yeah? Yeah, lately I've been very conscious about my hair. Okay, Roy Lee, SMM and WFH appear in story world often. Yeah. That's why I don't know SMM and WFH. Limpeh story. I have a story world, of course. Everybody has. But my story world don't have these things. And I don't live much in the story world. Yeah, not much. I don't really know what's going on in the story world, to be honest. But my real world I know very well. I even know how much the tree in front of my house grew every day. I can see the difference every day. Yep. That much I know about the real world. I know how the angle of the sun is changing from day to day. I know how the sunset sunrise timing is changing from day to day. Yeah, those kind of things where modern people no longer notice the big things in life. They don't notice. They notice only the small things. that exists only in the story world. The big things like what's the angle of the sun, what time the sun come up, what time the sun went down. Is the sun even in the sky today? How much the tree in front of house grow? Is the tree still there anymore? Those are the big things in life, the real things, the real thing. The real things which, if it doesn't behave the way it does, all life will extinguish. If the sun doesn't rise today, if the tree disappears altogether. These are the big things in life, but people call this the small things in life. This is very, 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 very amusing. Retro, glad you're home since cold out there. It's not cold, it's raining, storming. See, it's almost noon and you see it's still all gray out there. You can't see it, but it's still raining. So it's still raining so badly. It's gonna be raining all day. It's like December is rainy season here in Istanbul. Like it rains almost every day like this. So since it's raining and I don't have an umbrella, why do I go out in the rain just to go to some cafe and then get hush when I can stream from home? Like it's very hard for me to stream in cafes lately. Like even yesterday in my favorite book cafe, I got hushed down. Hush, speaking too loudly. This is the only place I can do whatever the fuck I like. I can speak as loud as I like. This is and I got a good camera angle, nice comfortable place, my own coffee, man. And I'm not spending an extra money. I'm not using extra energy. Not spending extra time walking to and fro wherever it is. My home is my favorite place to stream from, literally. So today I'm streaming from my favorite place. It's not, so far here in Istanbul this winter, it's not a very cold winter. Even today it's like 11 degrees Celsius. Versus last year, yes, I've been here more than a year. Last year this time was like 0 to 5 degrees Celsius during the day, But yesterday was 17. Today is about 12 degrees Celsius. So a very warm winter today. So it's not about a cold. It's not cold at all. But it's raining all the time. Yeah, that's the problem. Good morning, username. You see, I can speak loudly. Yeah, do I really talk that loudly? Every time at least twice I've been hushed down or chased away from cafe for streaming, for talking loudly in a cafe. Silence is a big part of Turkish culture. Turkish people like to keep things quiet, just like Korean people. Not so much Japanese people. That's why I keep saying, everybody tells me, wow, Japanese and Korean culture is very similar. It's not similar at all. Look at the details. If you look closely at the details, they are completely opposite cultures. Completely opposite. If you look at Japan and Korea in terms of the yin and yang energy, Japan is very yang energy. Korea is pure yin energy. Completely different culture, completely different beliefs. Japanese like to be loud. Yeah, even in cafes, loud is okay. But Korean likes to be soft, like to be silent, just like Turkish, Retro here too and across US. What? Guys, again, a reminder, by the time I come to your comments, it may be a few minutes later. So I cannot connect. So I cannot connect, like sing one-liner things like, hello, haha, yeah, I agree. I cannot connect. I don't know what you're talking about. So please try to write as complete sentence as possible. Crystal Moon, good morning. Good evening, New Zealand. Crystal Moon from New Zealand, from Churchill. Roy Lee, SFH stream from home, save time and money. What's SFH? You just said WSH. SH is stream from home. You guys invent all kinds of acronyms. Save time, money. Yeah, save a lot of money. Do you know, like doing this live stream outside, I'm spending an extra about $200 per month, and of course all the walking. Yeah, so I'm spending extra money and time, and I'm not making any extra money. Look at my YouTube earnings. Comparing my YouTube earnings from before I started live streaming and after right now, this is day 58, yeah? 58, 59, huh? I'm not making anything more. I'm not increasing my earnings either. So I'm purely just spending more time, more effort, more energy to go out there and do this, Not easy. Oh, today's such a good hair day because I cut my hair yesterday. When your fringe gets a little too long, every day you have a bad hair day. Hamdram! Hello, Hamdram from Singapore. Good afternoon. I haven't seen you in quite a while. How's your live streaming coming along? Great outfit. Thank you. Username, they have a point. Cafe should be quiet and relaxing, but you're okay in home. Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, Hagin. Yeah, cafe should be quiet and relaxing. That's true. That's why it's so difficult for me to live stream outside. I run into a lot of difficulty doing this live stream outside. Like at home, I feel so. At home, I save half the energy doing this live stream, honestly. Half the energy. Yeah, because I don't have to, when I live stream outside, I spend at least half my energy. You guys cannot see this, but I spend half my energy is in environmental control. I'm always looking out in the environment. I'm looking out for environmental factors. There's a lot of environmental factors you have to control in order to live stream outside. It's not easy at all. Like you spend like half your conscious mind not on the stream, no, but on everything outside. What on the guy beside, on the guy there, on the guy there, on what's happening around, whether or not there's a cat coming in, stuff like that. Retro, rain and storm in US. Yeah, but altogether, overall, a very warm winter this year, even in US. Because like in New York, last year was already snowing, but this year not yet. No, the first snow has not come into New York City yet. This year, very very warm winter. Username. Walking is good, not an expense. Yeah, walking is good. Yeah, that much is good. Honestly, doing the live stream outside is good for one more thing. That if I don't do it, honestly, every day I will just be at home. I am very hikikomori, honestly. In my default nature, I'd rather be at home rather than out. I can spend months at home, not going out at all. There was a period of time. You guys know I lived in Shanghai for about 5 years, right? So during those 5 years, every summer for 3 months, I lock myself at home. I don't go out at all. For 3 months, I draw my opaque curtains. I turn on the air conditioner, and I live in a condition like a cave kind of condition for 3 months. I don't talk to nobody. I don't even go out. That's how I prefer to live. That's my default preference, and it takes effort to force me to go out of the house even right now. So if I'm not streaming, I lose the only reason I should be out of house. Then every day I'll be at home. Honestly, I know it's not good. Yeah, but my default preference is hikikomori lifestyle. So I stay at home by default. It's hard enough to get me out of house. It's even harder to get me to tourist places to see beautiful places. I'm not into all these things. But here's a good news preview for all of you. Now, all of you have been asking me to bring you guys to the Hagia Sophia area, which is the old ancient Acropolis of Constantinople area, right? And I never had a reason to go there. Why? Because it's about 2 hours walk from my home. So it's very far. But this week, due to some personal reasons, I have to be in the area. And so, this week, actually Friday, I'll bring you guys to the Constantinople area of Istanbul. So stay tuned for that if you guys want to see the real main attraction of Istanbul, the Eiffel Tower of Istanbul. Okay, coming up this Friday, I'll go. Retro, slap up a background. Yeah, exactly. If I want to show some background, I just slap it up, right? Yeah, green screen it or something. Username, even in Saudi Arabia, winter this year is different. We used to get a lot of rain this month, but not this year, not at all. So even in Saudi Arabia, it should be a monsoon season, and still the monsoon is not coming. So overall, it's a warm year end all over the world. It seems. Retro, are you Gemini? I'm not Gemini. You can't define me by horoscopes and stuff anymore. You pretty much can't define me by horoscopes and a lot of astrology stuff anymore because of the way that I have loosened up and shaken loose my karmic trajectory. So usually nobody can tell anymore. I'm just human right now. You can't pretty much you cannot define me using a lot of this kind of divination or astrology methods that depends on calculation of karmic trajectories. That's how horoscopes, 八字, divination And all these things work, by the way. If you guys know how it works. All these techniques work by calculating your karma trajectory. Your karma follows a certain trajectory. Unconsciously, you're performing your whole destiny right now. And this is not even spirituality anymore. This is science. No, everybody knows this, that we have no free will. Yeah, everybody knows you have no free will. Why? Because you're acting compulsively. You're following whatever your karma is. Unconsciously, you're just doing things that you never intended to. So you're actually heading in a direction you can't even control. That is what karma and karmic energy means. And therefore, all these techniques, astrology, tarot, numerology, they're all designed to calculate what your karma structure is right now, and based on this structure, where are you heading into the future. That's how it all works. uh it sounds really like mystical, but it's not. It's very simple thing. Like, if you see a car driving this direction towards a building, then it's easy to predict that it's going to the building. Yes, yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's a very simple thing. But if you learn to loosen your karma structure and dissolve certain parts of your karma, now you're no longer heading in that direction. You can choose your direction. And when you arrive at the place where you can choose the direction, then all this astrology, all this palm reading, everything will not work for you, because you're not following your karmic trajectory anymore. And from what I observe of myself right now, I'm not off my karmic. Of course, you're off your karma structure when you're Buddha, okay, when you're fully enlightened. I'm not. But you arrive at a point where it's very loose, where you can choose certain things already. And already when you reach this point, all this palm reading, all these things become very inaccurate for you. Yeah, you cannot be defined by that anymore, even at such a stage. Kind of like an intermediate stage. Yeah, don't even have to be Buddha to do that. Retro karma trajectory. Yeah, I just explained, right? Karma trajectory. Retro. Oh, I see. But you can change your direction anytime. Only if you know how to shake loose of your karma trajectory. For most people, you think you are changing your direction consciously, but you're not. For most people, they are just reacting. For most people, for example, oh, he hurt me, I'll leave him. So you think you're making a choice to leave, but you're not. It's not even a choice. You're just following your karma, which is, I hate this treatment, I will go. It's not a choice. For you, that it wasn't a choice. You think you're changing the direction, but all you're doing is just following the old karma inclinations and preferences. Karma is just unconscious inclinations and preferences and compulsions that you cannot control. What you think is what you like and dislike is really just your karma. Why? Can you control what you like and dislike? Most people can't. Can you go into a situation where you dislike and still be in the situation and do what you're supposed to do? Most can't. There's no choice there. That's why people keep talking about people. That's why people have, that human being in general have arrived at a consensus that we don't have free will, right? This is back 30, 40 years ago, you have to convince people that they don't have free will. Now it's common knowledge that we don't have free will. Yeah. Why? Because it's all this karma structure, people are awakening to a certain level of awareness of this structure. But of course, they don't know the structure yet. They cannot see the structure, but human beings generally around the world has come to an awakening to allow them to see that this thing is happening, but they still don't know it. But it's like human beings see the sun rising in the east and falling in the west, and so therefore they deduce that the earth is round and spinning. But have they seen the earth is round and spinning? They don't. No, of course not. But you can deduce from this is what is happening right now. Oh, right now, good hair day because I cut my hair, but I miss a little chunk here. It's getting in my eyes on the left side. Retro, how what? Retro again, if you don't type in complete sentences, I don't really understand. Hamdram, thank you. That's really interesting. Andy, you good morning. Good morning, Andy. Welcome to my all-time favorite place to stream from. A place where I don't get chased out and hushed down for talking too loudly. You guys don't know how hard it is to stream in cafes. It's very hard. This is where I can stream here for half the energy that I spend streaming outside. Half the energy I can do from here. Because when I stream outside, I spend half the energy being aware of everything, doing environmental control, being aware of everybody, how they're reacting, am I talking too loudly, softly, and things like that. That spends a lot of energy. That's like half the energy gone, just like that. Oh, just streaming from home helps me save energy. Retro, ha ha ha. Ha ha what? Kim Teo, good morning. Good morning, my favorite Kim Teo. Good afternoon, Kim Teo from Singapore. May, good morning, Limpeh. Good morning, May from Singapore. Wow, today 90% Singaporeans, yeah? Whoa, good morning and welcome to La Kopi with Limpeh at Limpeh's home. This is how much I don't watch TV. You see that thing pasted all over? That black thing is actually a television. Username, what is more important? Getting married or move abroad to learn new language? Can't do both. Username, okay, very good question. A username. Username is asking me, what is more important? Getting married or moving abroad to learn new language? Can't do both. To me, if you ask me, okay, back when I moved to Korea, to me, moving abroad to learn a new language is more important than getting married. Okay, but everybody have a different situation. Your situation is different. I don't know your situation. I don't even know your preferences. I don't even know what your priorities in life are. You have to listen to your priorities. What you want in life. But understand this. The most important thing to understand is this, Amanda, that you have a choice. Understand that you have a choice, and understand that you're making a choice for your life right now, and therefore understand that it's going to have consequences down the road, and understand that you have to be able to um to accept the consequences. All has consequences. Getting married has consequences. Going abroad and foregoing marriage has consequences. Both has consequences. Are you ready for the consequences? To me, most people, right, when you make a decision in life, they think too much about what they're gonna get and too little about the consequence that you'll suffer, because everything in life has good and bad. Everything. Nothing is purely good. Everything you do today, everything you choose to do today, you're foregoing something else. Okay? Yeah. In economics, we call this the opportunity cost. Yeah, everything has an opportunity cost. Drinking coffee has an opportunity cost. If you're drinking coffee right now, you can't be drinking milk unless you add them together, you get latte. But anyways, you get the point. Yeah, I think most importantly is you need to come to a point where you are sure after you do it and the consequence come, you don't tell someone's like loser things like, I shouldn't have done this how that many years ago. I shouldn't have come to Korea to learn the language. I shouldn't have got married. If I never got married, I would be doing this, that. Oh, I shouldn't have come to Korea. I forgo a good marriage. If you can, everybody in everything you do in life, you have to come to a point where you don't turn around and bitch at yourself. That's very important. Even in Japan, when I was in Japan, um some housewife, right, they have very good marriage, and externally everybody think they're very happy. I always thought she's very happy, and until one day I had some time alone with her, and we were walking down the street together, and she's telling me, you know what, I want away from this so much. I want to have my own life, my own time so much. I'm shocked to hear that. Why? Even me, I thought she's so happy with her marriage, so happy with her family, so happy with whatever she's doing at home right now. But when we're alone, the only time we're alone, she's telling me, I envy you so much. I say, what? Why? She said, I want my own time. I want my own life. That's what I don't have. See, make sure you don't come to a point where you're like that. That's the most important thing about making choices in life. Understand that there is nothing good or bad in life. Whatever you think is good that you're pumping all your time in life into trying to achieve, understand that it will bring its bad consequences as well. Anything and everything has its bad consequences. You want that new shiny car? Yeah. You do everything to get it, and you get a loan and everything, and then you turn around and say, and then every day you're in some coffee shop bitching about how much you're paying in installments, how much you're paying in gas and fines. Yeah, everything has good and bad. Everything is karma. There is no absolute good in the material world. No. So whatever choice you make, just make sure that you understand what you're giving up, and make sure you understand what you're giving up. You come to a point of acceptance of those opportunity costs in life, and that you don't turn around and bitch at yourself. That's the most important thing, Amanda, in my opinion, huh? B, hi B, good afternoon, B from Singapore. Hamdram, um, is it all right to ask you something, please? I'm really sorry if this is off topic. Is the cinema at your place open for public already? How are the people going to watch? Oh, I'm not sure. First of all, Hamdram, I don't watch movies, and I don't do this kind of entertainment things. So I don't watch out for cinemas and stuff like that. So I don't even care where the cinemas are and what they are doing. Honestly, I don't even know if I have a cinema in my area, because I simply don't pay attention to pop culture. I don't even know there's a new Spider-Man and all these things coming up. Huh? Yeah, I don't know these kind of things. I simply don't do pop culture. I simply don't do entertainment and all this kind of thing. Yeah, I live a very esoteric life. That's why I keep saying, no, it's easier to think of me as a monk with hair and fancy clothes. If you take away the hair and the fancy clothes, I live exactly like a monk. Yeah. I'm an Eastern esoteric guy. Yeah. That's why. Oh, Yeli from the Philippines. ¿Cómo estás? Hamdram, oh no, I feel bad and sorry for you. What? Feel bad about what? Since apologies that it happened. Apologies for what? What happened? Very dramatic, Hamdram. I don't even know why you sorry about. I don't understand. And for those of you who just joined my live stream, welcome to a rainy, stormy day in Monday in Istanbul. See, nearly it's like nearly 11 a.m. and it's still dark and gloomy because it's still raining outside. And therefore, I don't have an umbrella, by the way. So instead of walking out in the rain, trying to go to a cafe, pay money and still get harsh and chased away because I talk too loudly. See, what the fuck? I'll just do today's live stream in my most favorite place to stream from ever, my home, where I can speak as loud as I like, get free coffee, not have to suffer the rain, not have to waste time walking, and not have to pay more money. Perfect place, a perfect place to stream from. But of course, today it's like a home thing, so extreme boring for those of you who want to see Istanbul. But this week is also going to be an extreme interesting week for my live stream, because I'm going to bring you guys to the Eiffel Tower, Istanbul, which is the Hagia Sophia, right? The main attraction of Istanbul. I don't go there. I've not been there. I've been here for more than a year. I've not been there. Okay. And this week, for some personal reason, I'll be going to that area this Friday. So this Friday morning, I'll be streaming from the Hagia Sophia. So stay tuned. That's the main tourist attraction place of Istanbul. Huh? For those of you who don't know, the Acropolis of Constantinople. Basically, I'll be stepping on the grounds of Constantinople. It's a 2 hours walk from my place. So I need to start walking. Like from 8 a.m. onwards to reach there at 10 a.m. Give and take some looking around, give and take some losing my way. So I'll probably have to start walking by 7 a.m. in order to reach there by 10 a.m. Yeah, it's a 2 hours walk from my place, to Constantinople. Hamdram, your story. What about my story that you're so sorry about? I don't understand. B, Hamdram. Hi, Hamdram. Hamdram, I felt sorry for you. What? Oh, you feel sorry for me about what? I don't understand. Hamdram, what are you sorry for me about? Oh, very weird. Username. What's your hands-on hobby? Martial arts. I have two main hobby all throughout my life. If you have been following my Instagram, you see me do these two things consistently. Throughout my Instagram, you see me do these two things from time to time: martial arts and video game. Yeah, these are my two main hobbies throughout my life. Since maybe 8 7 8 years old, when I first did taekwondo, I never stopped martial arts. I never stopped video gaming. This video game is my poison. It's poison, man. Yeah, it's my poison. Definitely. Hamdam, how are you doing at B? Hope that you have a really wonderful day today. B, Hamdam, thank you. Username, that's a great question. Grateful towards you. Retro, take a bus to Sofia? No, I don't take buses. I don't take transports. I walk. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know, any place I can walk to within 2 to 3 hours, I walk. Anything above 2 or 3 hours walk, then I take some form of transport. I think Humdrum is spamming. Yeah, Humdrum is nice. Not the first time he's on. Yeah, but just that he says stuff that I don't really understand. Like he keeps saying he's sorry, right? But sorry for what I don't know. And he keeps saying that he's sorry about me for what I don't know. Yeah, but and he doesn't explain. So yeah, he's a nice guy, but probably not so concise in communication. So you guys have to be very concise when you write here. Why? Because we're not seeing each other's expression. Do you know that communication without seeing the face, you're missing half the message. It's very hard to interpret what people say and what they mean by text alone. It's a huge difference when you video chat someone and you text chat someone. Yeah, yeah. Kim Teo, some parts of Shifu said to escape from the life path in a life chart is very difficult. Yes, it's very difficult. I say only 0.001% of people can do it. Almost like changing the entire person of character. Not changing the entire person of character. When you reach a point where you shake loose your karma structure, when you're aware and you're able to shake loose, distance, and dissolve certain parts of your karma, it's not that you change or become an entire person, but you become no person. You can choose at any time. You become no character. Because whatever you call your character and your personality is just karma. What do you mean by karma? A simple modern term is just conditioning. Conditioning since young, conditioning from your genes, conditioning by the media, by your ethnic race, by your parents, by your grandparents, by your school. Everything is all this conditioning creates this personality that you think is you. It's not even you. It's just a whole bunch of information that you subconsciously play out again and again. That's what you call personality, you know. And this whole structure is all part of the overall karma structure that I explained many weeks ago. So when you arrive at the point of your spiritual practice where you become aware first of your karma structure. That's the first step. Second step is once you're aware of your karma structure, you start to become aware on a moment-to-moment basis in everyday life when karma is compelling you to act in certain way. Okay, you become aware that, oh, this is not me. This is a conditioned habit. This is a condition. I didn't even choose to do this. I didn't even choose to react like this. You become aware. After that, you start to be able to distance, and then after that, you start to be able to dissolve and change. Every step of this is one big step deeper into a spiritual practice. So your Pacha Shifu is right that it is very hard. It takes a very deep spiritual practice, and so far in the world, I say only 0.01% of the people ever reach this state. And I'm not even talking about being enlightened. That's another whole new level altogether. Coming to a stage, about my stage, where you become aware, become loose, and become able to dissolve certain parts of your karma, it's just about midway, you know. It's just about intermediate stage. And even this intermediate stage, most people will never attain. Yeah. So it's not easy. I never said it's easy. Humdrum, once again, I think I mentioned this before. I'll say again. I think your outfit today looks brilliantly. Thank you. L Dizon, how do you shake loose your karma? Yeah, I think I just described the whole stage, yeah, the whole step by step, and the spiritual practice required to get to this state any spiritual practice you're currently following will bring you to this state. Whether you're practicing Buddhism, meditate some form of meditation, of course, Buddhism, some kind of Buddhism meditation, or Zen Buddhism, or Tibetan Buddhism mantra, or you're following Hinduism, or you're following yoga, or following even Qigong, Chinese Qigong, all these things would take you to that place. Yes, or any and every kind of real spiritual practice will take you to that place eventually. But religion will not. Christianity, Islam, Jainism, or basically any religion that is just believing in some kind of God will not take you there. Okay. Humdrums, apologies for a long message in your live chat. Why are you apologizing for? If I mean, I think this is a very strange behavior, Humdrum. I'm gonna chansori on this a little bit. If you think it's a wrong thing to do, why do you do it? If you do it, that means you don't think it's a wrong thing to do, and why are you apologizing for it? So in this world, in the end, yeah, nobody needs to apologize for anything, because when you come to a place where you need to apologize for something is very wrong. Why? It's either number one, you know it's wrong and you willingly do it, or number two, you're completely out of control, like pretty much insane because you're not in control. So which is which? Yeah. That's why so far, honestly, you guys rarely hear me apologize about anything. Yeah, right or wrong, I don't care. I did what I did. I said what I said because I think it is the right. I consciously know that this is the message I want to give. Even if it won't appeal to certain people, I said what I said. I won't apologize for it because if I do it again, I'll still do it the same way. So I rarely apologize for anything. In fact, like even yesterday in those cafes that if you guys have been watching my live stream and you see there are certain times people tell me to quiet down, right? Do you see me apologizing? I never. Do you see me say sorry? I've never said sorry. I'm not sorry for it. Why? Because I know I have to do this if I want to do this live stream. I know I will disturb people. I know there will be consequences. I'm not sorry for it. I know it's a natural consequence of trying to live stream in a quiet cafe full of people. I know it's coming one day. I'm not sorry for it. It's a natural consequence. If I'm sorry for it, I wouldn't do it. Then I would just stream from home. You guys see what's the point now? You see the point? B, is he DCM? No, Hamdram is not DCM. So funny. Everybody, like, Hamdram, if people think you're DCM, right, then something is very wrong, because... Okay, Kim Teo, does it need to really lead an esoteric life like you to break free from it? Almost. It's not a need, but when you become deep enough into a certain level of your spiritual practice, you will naturally become esoteric. Because why? Because the material world and whatever has happened outside don't appeal to you anymore. And basically, you live an esoteric life not by choice, but by nature. When nothing outside appeals to you anymore, when the game of society don't appeal to you anymore, when you don't need what other people need to live anymore, then naturally this becomes your lifestyle. It's nothing you need to force yourself to do. And this is, to me, right, there's a lot of divisions in Buddhism. This is, to me, one of the reasons why that led to a lot of division and creation of Buddhism into a religion rather than a spiritual practice. Buddhism started as a spiritual practice, not a religion. No, it's not a religion where you worship Buddha. Now the problem is this: after a while, they created jie, which is rules that you have to follow. So you bear the rules, and everybody suffer the rules. It's like suffering the 10 Commandments. It's like suffering the 7 sins in Christianity. When you make a rule about something you cannot do, when you're not ready, when it's not natural for you, it becomes a situation where you every day you struggle against it. Every day you want to do it more. Everything you tell yourself that you cannot do, you will want to do it more. That's the nature of the brain. Okay, so that's why from there Buddhism mainly split into Chan or Zen Buddhism, where they discarded all these rules altogether. In Zen Buddhism, you can get married if you want, you can drink alcohol if you want, you can do whatever you want. There's no rules. But the manifestation of not doing all these things is a natural consequence of the deepening of your spiritual practice. And therefore, Zen Buddhism returned to this root of Buddhism. That's why you hear about in Japan, there are monks that are very rich, there are monks with a few wives, there are monks that drive Ferrari. You guys have heard about this, right? And it's all acceptable within the framework of Zen Buddhism. Retro, you love Qigong. Oh, what kind of Qigong do you practice, Retro? Oh, I'm big on Qigong as well, very big. I still remember, back then, yesterday, Kim Teo, you asked me a very interesting question yesterday. You asked me, how do I talk to trees, right? And then I explained how that I talk to trees. Do you know that about 15 years ago, when I first met my Qigong master in China, he's one of those Qigong master who is well known to have achieved 天人合一, which is basically 天人, back then 15 plus years ago, I felt, wow, 天人合一, which means heaven and man become one. I thought, wow, that's like mystical level. And then he told me that he can talk to rocks and trees, and it's like, wow, to me it was like unbelievable. Like, it's like, out of my world, out of my mind, out of this world kind of thing. I thought like it's so mystical at that time when he related all this to me. But now, after 15 years, I too have achieved it, and I felt it. 原来是如此. Like, wow, so this is it. So this is what it means to be 天人合一, to be one with heaven. And this is what it means and feels like to be talking to trees. Now I know. And because now I've manifested it myself. But 15 years ago, when I first met my Qigong master, when he told me this same thing, I was like, what? Is that possible? And when he did 辟谷, he said, when you reach a certain stage of your practice, you start to 辟谷, means you start to not have to eat and you can get your energy from the air. I said, what the? To me, like, 他已经成仙, that he's already a deity. To me, he's a deity. It's not human anymore. To me, like, it's such a mystical and unbelievable level achievement. Like, it's not real. But now I've manifest all of these things myself after 15 years of practice. So yeah, looking back, I find it very interesting, Kim Teo, that because 15 years ago I was asking the very same questions that you asked me today. And I know how you feel, Kim Teo. That's why I like you very much, Kim Teo, because you're asking the exact same questions that I asked 15, 20 years ago. And therefore I understand how you feel, because I knew how I felt back then when I heard these things from my master. Like, just like, it's just out of this world. It's just crazy. I know. That's why, Kim Teo, I really appreciate you very much, because you reminded me of those times when I first started as well. Username, there has to be a balance between your spiritual thing and your own life to get the most of your time on earth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Humdrum. But Amanda, as you can see, I'm definitely, I'm deep in spirituality, and nobody can say I don't live a full life either, right? My lifestyle is full. There's nothing I've not done before. There's nowhere I've not been before. So here's also proving that being deep in spirituality do not conflict with your own life. Okay, do not. Have I not driven Ferraris? I have. I have 2 Porsches before as well. Okay, I've done it all before. Doesn't mean that when you're on the spiritual path, you don't experience all these things. In fact, I keep telling people you have to achieve a certain level of worldly success to appreciate the spiritual path. And to fight for worldly success, to earn your Ferrari and your Porsche is part of the spiritual journey. I keep saying. That's why some people ask me, oh, is it necessary, like compulsory, to be rich and powerful before you can become spiritual? Sometimes, yes. That's why in China, at least about 10 years ago in China, just before I left China, there was a big wave of rich businessmen who abandoned their business and to start their spiritual practice in the mountains. It was a huge wave of business people leaving their business to pursue a spiritual path. Because when you reach that point of success, then you understand the nature of worldly pursuits, and you see the illusionary nature of worldly pursuits. That's when you can really start a spiritual practice. Otherwise, you're just lying to yourself. You say, I don't need money when you don't have money. You're lying to yourself. You've not had it yet. You don't know. Yeah. That's why I keep saying, until you experience something, you really don't know. And that's why even if you do yoga, if you read the Yoga Sutra by Patanjali, the first sentence of the Yoga Sutra is this: dot dot dot, and now yoga. It's half a sentence. What does this half a sentence mean? It means this: you've tried everything to be happy. You tried being rich. You tried being famous. You tried being powerful. Nothing worked. So now yoga. So now is the time for you to go yoga. This is what it means. Retro. Humdrum, that's interesting. Humdrum, like I said, if you need to type in full sentences. If you say, I'm interesting, hey, you say, oh, this is interesting, ha ha ha, I agree, low. I really don't know what you're saying, because by the time I come to your comment, it's many minutes later. I cannot connect. I simply cannot connect. Retro, I don't know which Qigong, but I can send my teacher's channel. Do you have Qigong online? I don't do Qigong online. Okay, one thing is you can never learn anything spiritual online. You need to be in touch with a real master, because it's not just a technique. It's the master. Okay, look, now learning a qigong or kriya or a spiritual practice is like building a fire. If you guys have tried doing a campfire, you know that to light the fire, you first need a spark. If you don't have this spark, no matter how well lit your fireplace is, you will never burn. Yes or no? Now, the master needs to give you the spark. If the master do not give you the spark to start your energy, whatever you learn online doesn't work. Yes, that much I can guarantee you. When I first got in touch with my master to learn Qigong, the very first day, you don't know how was the very first day? The very first day was the most painful day in my life. I was made to stand in this posture. Let me show you. This posture. Okay. Stand in 抱圆桩. This is called 抱圆桩. To stand in this posture, eyes closed, for how long? 5 hours. While he was behind me, giving me the energy and opening up my channels. For 5 hours, I stood like that with eyes closed in this posture. 5 hours. If just learning this online, is this necessary? It's not necessary. If I learn this online, just stand like that, then why does the master have to make me stand for 5 hours while doing the qigong and chanting mantras behind me? You see the point? If you don't have a master to give you the first spark and open your channel, in qigong, nothing works if you learn it online. That's why there's so many online resources. Why? If it's really so precious, why they put it online? They know it don't work. That's why they put it online. Whatever the real thing, they will never put it online. Whatever the real thing, people keep it. If you have a real thing, you keep it like a treasure. You won't just give it away like that. So yeah, understand that no matter if you're talking about qigong or yoga or kriya or some kind of meditation, you need to learn it directly from a master, because if you don't, you simply don't have the spark to kickstart, and therefore, honestly, you're just wasting your time. You're doing nothing. You're not developing anything. D-Zone, in some of the videos, you mentioned that you're Catholic. Yes, I'm Catholic and I'm born in a Christian family. Yeah. How has your views changed on it since practicing spiritual? This is going to be very controversial, because I was a Bible scholar as well. So I deeply studied and researched the Bible and taught in Sunday school at the same time for 2 years. Yep, I was that deep a Christian. I think the value of Abrahamic religions, not just Christianity or Catholicism, Abrahamic religions, is number one, quite an accurate record of the origins of mankind, how the road that mankind took into modern history. Okay, you may think that it's all a bunch of stories, but through our research and scientifically and archaeologically, it has been every part of the story. We are finding evidence for all parts of this story. So it's actually a real story of mankind. Second is it's a good community. See, in the end of the day, right, if you look at old society, the value of Sunday mass and Sunday services is just community. It's the only time where people of the town come together in communion. That's the only time once a week they do that. So it's a community time more than anything. And today, most people still go to church for this community. Most people go to church to do business, to know more people, to do MLM. Yeah. So it's still the same purpose today. So, and it's not a bad purpose. To me, it's a good purpose. People need such a platform to come together, to know each other, to do things with each other. It's not a bad thing. But it is nothing spiritual. There is nothing spiritual in Abrahamic religions. In fact, I can go much deeper. It will be very controversial. A lot of things that we uncovered in our research, especially in the original Greek Bible and the Aramaic Bible of Jesus, people would not like to know. So I won't disclose these things, but just know that there is no conflict between Abrahamic religions and a spiritual practice like Qigong and meditation. There's no conflict. These are two completely different things. Username, actually not achievement, is black magic plus delusion. Again, username, I cannot connect. So again, you need to give me more background on what you're talking about, because by the time I come to your comments, I cannot connect. I don't know what you're talking about anymore. Retro, I did Qigong for about 5 years after I fell down from the stairs. Okay, Qigong is the only way I healed it and heals everything. Yes, okay, I don't know the specifics of your injury or your life, so I cannot tell you if it's Qigong, right? Qigong and all kinds of spiritual practice and yoga does have healing properties, but the healing properties come from prana or chi energy, and you simply cannot have chi energy if nobody kickstarts it from you. I'm sorry, it simply cannot happen. Okay, based on my deep understanding of how chi and prana work. So I would, without knowing the specifics of your life and your injury, the body does heal itself over time, okay, or from all kinds of injuries. Or the body itself is very powerful. Your body itself have certain energy, is self-healing over time. Yeah, I won't credit everything to Qigong. Okay, we need to be very practical about everything. To me, I'm not religious about anything. Okay, everything I look for what is the truth and what is the practical aspect. So I'm not like one of those zealots like, oh hallelujah, that's Qigong over there. Yeah, so that's why I keep telling people you must learn Qigong because Qigong heals everything. No, I'm not a zealot in anything. And I can tell you 100% honestly and very sincerely that Qigong do not heal everything. Qigong do not heal cancer. Okay? Why? Because it's a different mechanic. You inherit these things genetically, and Qigong cannot break what we call your genetic karma. It simply cannot. Unless you mukti, unless you reach enlightenment, which at that time you leave your body anyway, so you die anyways. Yeah. Hamdram, I agree, and Hamdram, I don't know what you're talking about all this while. Honestly, you keep typing in so-called real time chatting style, which is not real time for me, because by the time I come to your message, it's about 10 minutes later. So yeah, so I really cannot connect, Hamdram. Retro, I went to Qigong in person. Okay, if you learn it from a master in person and he initiates you into the process, there's a process he needs to do for you. If he does that, yes, then it works. It sparks the Reiki. Now we all have Qi, we all have Qi, but then there is Reiki as well, meaning we all have Qi, we all have Qi. Without Qi, we die. But within Qi, there is this thing called Yuan Qi, which is Reiki. So Qi is Qi, Yuan Qi is Reiki or Prana. Okay. So when you talk about prana is Qi. Prana, Qi, Qi, same thing. Okay. Kundalini, Yuan Qi, Reiki, same thing. Right. So without activating the Kundalini energy or the Yuan Qi or the Reiki, then honestly, you're just spinning on normal life energy. So that's doesn't do anything. Yeah. Username. Since you tried most of the things, why not try Islam at oh I read I studied the Quran. That's why I say I'm a Bible scholar. When you're a Bible scholar, you study the whole Abrahamic religion structure. You don't just study uh Christianity. You study the whole history and the whole. Yes, I do read the Quran and I know the Quran. Yeah, and I love Islam. If you know me, if you have been following my live stream, I keep saying great things about Islam here in Istanbul. I go to mosque as well. Yeah, I'm not religious. I'm after the energy. In fact, if you have been following my live stream long enough, there's I keep going to one mosque. I keep streaming from one mosque because like I said, in that area of the mosque, I feel very strong consecration energy, and I get a lot of energy from that as well. Yeah, but right now, I know the structure and Abrahamic religions well enough that my search for the origins of that have already ended. I'm on a different path right now. I asked about Catholic and spiritual practice because I'm a Christian, but also delve into meditations and spiritual practices. Okay, yeah. So I answered that question. However, I find that I have a conflict because Christianity is all about Jesus. If it's not all Jesus, then it's Satan, and it's all. Oh, that's what your pastor tells you. The Bible didn't say that. Okay. Again, a lot of pastors, right? They misinterpret and still do misinterpret the Bible in a big way. Yeah. Jesus never spoke about heaven and hell. Yeah. And still today's pastor talk about heaven and hell like if you believe in Jesus, you go to heaven. You don't believe in Jesus, you go to hell. Show me where in the Bible it says that. Show me even one line that Jesus said the word heaven or hell. Don't believe your pastor, believe the Bible. That's why this is what I advise all Abrahamic religion people. Believe your Bible or Quran. Don't believe your pastor. Your pastor or your priest is just human. They misinterpret everything in their life. They can't even manage their own kids. They can't even manage their own family. Don't see them as spiritual people. They are not. They struggle in life greatly. Even like I know more than a few pastor and priest sons. They're all gays. Yeah, many gays in pastor and priest families. Yeah. So what do you call that? I'm not saying anything about gay. I'm okay with them. But if you are a real Christian then that's one thing that's expressly a no-no in the Bible. So how you can't even manage that about your own family. So I don't know. Yearly. Username. Do you read Quran incomplete? Admittedly, I didn't read the whole Quran incomplete. Yeah, I focused on the Isa part, the history of Isa. Yeah. But like I said, right now I'm done with that journey. I'm on a different journey right now, so I don't see myself going into a deep research on the Quran anymore. That was back in those days when I was still a scholar about all these religions. I'm way past that. I've seen the truth, and yeah, I'm on a different path right now. Ruby, I agree with you. Why not go somewhere? It's all here. What do you mean? Oh, Ruby, why go somewhere? It's all here. I don't know what it means. But anyways, Ruby, welcome to my live stream. First time I'm seeing your name on my live stream. For those of you who are new to my live stream, this is a new live stream where every morning I bring you guys to a different cafe or location here in Istanbul. I'm in Istanbul for the past 1 year and 5 days so far. And grab a coffee and just chit chat about anything and everything. And today I'm streaming from home. My favorite place to stream from home. No worries, no environmental control needed. Unlimited internet. No struggling with bad connections. No struggling with people who wants me to shut up. No struggling with paying for coffee. Great place, great camera angle. Man, this is the best place to stream from. Retro. The Bible has been tampered with though. It's not say that it's been tampered with, retro. Bible is not tampered with. It's just misinterpreted or mistranslated into English. That's why when we study the Bible as a scholar, we study the Koine Greece version, the ancient Hebrew version, and the Aramaic version. We don't study based on the English version. Never. The English version is completely mistranslated. Ruby, fear power of I don't know. Ruby, I mean you can make your heaven and hell here by how you think. Yeah, exactly. I made a video about this, Ruby. Does heaven and hell exist? In my channel, you can go, you search in my channel for heaven and hell, you see that one video, very unpopular. But that's about what I mean. Heaven and hell is both here. But interestingly, Jesus never spoke about heaven and hell. In fact, there's no mention of the word heaven or hell in the whole of the Bible at all. Not even in the Torah, not even in the times before Christ was there mention about heaven and hell. Username. The interesting thing that most Christians don't know about Islam is that all Muslims are required to believe and love Jesus. Otherwise, we won't enter heaven. Yeah, that I know. Yeah, because Isa is also one of the prophets of God. Yeah, that much I know. Anyways, to me, I think the whole Islam versus Christianity conflict is just laughable. if you are a true scholar, if you have studied deeply into Abrahamic religions, then it becomes super laughable to see both takes that kind of hard stance against each other. It's just laughable. We all believe in the same God of Allah. I still call him in fact, if you ask me, I think Islam is closer to the true nature of God than Christianity. The same God, by the way. No, not two different God, Allah. Yeah. But generally, I think Islam have a more correct definition of what God means. But it's the same God again. It's just over the past 2,000 years, this guy misinterpreted here, there, everywhere, and it becomes the situation today. But I don't want to comment on that. I can talk for hours about this. Retro, Council of Nicaea changed the Bible. No, Retro, Council of Nicaea didn't change the Bible. Council of Nicaea created the Bible. Before the Council of Nicaea, there was no Bible. There was only the Torah and many other manuscripts flying around the world. Council of Nicaea put together the first ever thing called the Bible. And the sad thing is, Council of Nicaea translated the whole thing in Latin and mistranslated the whole thing. Yeah. Ruby, really what? Okay, guys, again, if you're new to my live stream, please try to type in complete sentences. Understand that this chat is not real time. By the time it comes to a message, it's many minutes later. I really don't know what you mean by really? Haha, low, yes, I agree. No, I don't disagree. What? I don't understand. Username, I really advise you to read the Quran incomplete. It's one of those things that you have to do as a whole. Otherwise, you'll be missing the point of it. Okay, thank you for the advice. Shish. Hi, Limpeh. Bye, Limpeh. Final day of exam for Shish in Barata. Good luck, Shish. El Dizon, do you think this same God exists? God exists, but not in the way that you understand. And I don't really want to go into it. It is not easy to understand. Chile, the virus comes from China. I don't care where it comes from, and honestly, I don't even think about the virus. Thanks for the coronavirus. Trump 24. Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter, by the way. Oh, by the way, I'm from New York. Ruby, your book, I agree. Okay, I don't know. My book, what book? I've not written any books. Username, the crucial difference between us. See, the moment you talk in this way, I will start ignore you. Us Muslim and you Christianity, this is the whole problem in the world today. When something you say is good creates nothing but division, creates a situation where you are different from me, I'm different from you, you're stupid, I'm clever. I'm sorry, you're off the spiritual path and I will ignore you. Because you bring no good to the world, you bring only division to mankind. And to me, that's the whole problem in the world today. I do not endorse such thinking, and I would ignore this bullshit. Ruby, I do believe in karma. Yeah, karma is not a belief, by the way. Karma is reality. And you can experience karma. You experience karma every day of your life. Why? What is karma? Karma is conditioned behavior that pushes you in a direction of not your choice. Modern society has already come to a deep understanding that there's no free will. There's no free will, right? You know there's no free will. Everybody knows. But why? Because we know that everything we do was not out of 100% choice. There's pretty much no choice in a lot of things we do. Why? It's because if there's no choice, then why do you do the thing you do? There is something there is a force, there is a conditioning or some kind of rules within you that makes you do it. Yes, that thing is karma, and there's a structure. There's an internal and external structure to karma, and you can actually, if you are deep enough in a spiritual practice, you can come to a point where you can actually see your whole structure, and through your structure, you can see your past lives. And you can even dissolve certain parts of karma. You cannot dissolve the whole thing, but certain parts. Yeah, it's not a big deal thing. Again, like I said, it's not a big deal thing. All these are very simple spiritual practices. Retro, weird energy today. Weird energy, like how? Good morning, Tressa. Good morning, Tressa. The most mysterious person on my live stream every single day. Ruby, you talk very deep. I believe in past lives. Past life is not even a belief, you know. Past life is reality and it's science. There's a few dimensions to past life. What you call life today and what you experience about yourself right now is not one person. What you experience as you as a whole right now is comprised of 3 to 4 different lives. You are a combination of a few different lives, okay? And therefore, a lot of people, this is the problem with people who believe in souls or spirit. You think, I'm one soul. No, you're not. You're a combination of about 4 different lives. And one of the lives is genetic life. Your one of your past life is whoever up the line for millions of years. So it's not even a belief, it's science. Your genes come from somebody, and which come from somebody, which comes from somebody. It's basically your first ancestor duplicating himself or herself down the thousands of years to become you. You still have his nose, you still have his eyes. He's still living it through you. You still carry his cultural beliefs, ethnic beliefs, and everything. Whoever your ancestor is your past life as well. There are many dimensions to past lives. Yeah, it's not even a spiritual thing anymore. It's science. Username. I'm not dividing, man. Oh no. I'm sorry, Amanda. The moment you use words like we Islam, you Christianities, that's creating division, and I will ignore that. That's that's exactly the problem in the world today. I studied and embraced everything because I believe in humanity as in reality a whole and part of nature. There is no division and no difference between human. When you strip away the flesh, you look at the skeletons, there's no difference at all. And anyone who talks in a way that I Korean, you American, I Muslim, you Christian, I Catholic, you Buddhist. I'm sorry, from here on I will ignore this kind of people because this is exactly the problem in the world today. Dizon, thank you for your answers. I recently found your channel and resonate a lot with your content. Oh, thank you. It feels like I'm on the path that you were on in the past. Oh, that's interesting to know. And so you see your future then. A future of spiritual, mental, and indeed physical liberation. A liberated life, a free life. You know. Retro, explain more about the 4 kinds of souls. Oh, if I do a deep explanations on this, it's gonna take hours. Maybe one day I'll do a video on this, but I don't think I want to delve into this thing. People are not ready for this knowledge. You know, if you watch Lucy, how many of you here watch Lucy? You know, it's a movie by Luc Besson. Yeah? And Luc Besson is not that far away. You know? Luc Besson is a very deeply spiritual person, and he's just trying to express what he understands about the different levels of spirituality and the manifestations. And there was one point where Lucy, nearly 100% cerebral capacity, that means she's nearly at the point of being Buddha or God or whatever. When she shared her knowledge, then the the professor say, oh, the world is not ready for this knowledge. Yeah. Even at my stage, I would say I'm probably at 30% cerebral capacity. Even at this level, I see a lot of things people are not ready to understand. Yeah. So, and one of those is this, the forecast. So, but just understand that whatever, I think scientists are also coming to an agreement about this, that whatever you feel as your consciousness, as yourself, is not one soul, it's not one thing, it's a combination of many different things, from your psychology to your body. That's why there's talks right now that computers will never reach a point of singularity because they lack a body. See, the computers will not reach a point of real self-awareness because they don't have a body. See, scientists already reached this conclusion. Why? Which means it's an acknowledgement of how what we know about ourselves as a so-called one individual. Is not one individual. It's made out of many components. This is a holistic understanding, a holistic feel. But okay, for retro, if you want to understand why you're not one person, very simple thing you can do is this. Sit down and meditate for 1 hour if you can. In fact, most people will feel it within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you distinctively feel three different people in you. One is you who wants to meditate. Second is the brain who keep challenging you. What the fuck you doing? We should be doing something else. And your body who is restless and just want to move around. At within 5 minutes of meditation, you will feel distinctively you're not one person but 3%. In yoga, they call this the physical body, the mental body, and the energetic body. Of course, there's etheric body and even deeper. That's the yoga perspective. Okay, so just by doing a simple meditation, immediately you can feel you're not one person. You're a combination of all these things. What you feel on a day-to-day basis, where you're not enforcing a real will, and you're just going with whatever your mind is thinking and whatever your body is doing. When you're just going with them, you think you're one person, but you're not. And it shows when you at last enforce your real will against this, and then they start to show up as separate. Does this make sense? At that moment, you can see very clearly you're not one soul, one person at all. Ruby, way to go. I love that humanity as a whole. Humanity is a whole. It's all these man-made things and man-made beliefs that divides humanity. Even right these days, what? People are even divided based upon vaccinated or not vaccinated. You believe in mask or you don't believe in mask. These are all bullshit. Divisions that do not naturally exist in the natural state of being a human being. Ruby, maybe we had many past lives. Not maybe, we do. It's scientific. You already on the first part, you already know that your genes was passed down for millions of years. You already have millions of past life by genetic life. You already have millions of past life. You are your grandparents. Your grandparents is still you. It's just that the conscious mind is different. Like I say, what you feel is you. It's made out of many different components, and all these things have their own past lives. That's why I keep saying that you do not have just many past life on one line. Many people think that this way. It's not this way. It's not that your soul has been through many past lives. No, your soul has been through many past lives. Your body has been through many past lives. Your all 4 dimensions actually of your feeling, your being has been through many lifetimes, and all of them happen to converge on this point to create this life, this awareness of self. And like I say, you can easily split up this awareness of oneself very easily through meditation. Immediately you see you're not one person. Retro, how about the ancestor part of the soul? Yeah, the ancestor part of the soul is genes. You inherited your genes from your ancestors. Your ancestor, you still have your grandfather's eyes, you still have your grandfather's nose and mouth, you still have your grandfather's attitude and beliefs. Your grandfather is literally you right now. If your grandfather is born in this time, he would think and behave exactly like you. And this is all that is happening. You are not different from your grandfather. You are your grandfather. Yo. DCM. But this is breakthrough. This is just one of the 4 parts of what you call souls and past lives. Okay, genetic past life is one of 4 parts of past lives. Most people are not ready to know the rest, so I'm not going to go into the rest. DCM, do you like MacBook? No, I've never used anything from Apple. I don't even have an iPhone. Yeah. No. I don't use anything Apple. David Yo. David Yo from Singapore. Hello, hello. Yeah, I use Alienware. I don't use MacBook. I use Alienware. Good eyes, David. Josebo, David, I've never seen you on my live chat before. Welcome. Show you guys what Istanbul looks like today outside my window. And it's still raining, but very lightly now. That's why I'm streaming from home. No point going through the rain, get to a cafe, pay money just to get shooed away because I talk too loudly. See those trees? You see that tree over there? These trees are sleeping right now. That tree over there, very vibrant, very energetic. Every day is growing, no, every day. I see this few branch and that branch growing every day. Yeah, trees do not stay stagnant. They grow and change every day if you are aware enough. It's not very cold today either. This year is a very warm winter. 13 degrees Celsius right now. Last year this time, yeah, I'm here more than a year right now. So last year this time was about 5 degrees Celsius in the morning. Anna Capri, hi, welcome. Good evening, Anna. I wish I knew how to tap into my past life. I believe I would be able to understand and be at peace with the circumstances that happened to me. But Anna, by the time you reach the level where you can start to understand a past life, which is around my level, I only start to tap into my past life recently. By the time you reach this level, it doesn't matter anymore. That's the thing. That's one of the paradox in life. A lot of paradox in life. You want something badly, you think you'll fix your life now, but by the time you can get it, it doesn't even matter anymore. This is one of those things. Past life is one of those things. By the time you come to a point where you can tap into a past life, it doesn't matter anymore. David, yes. Ruby, so pretty, yeah. You can get peace by meditating. And I don't know, everybody's just trying to get peace. Honestly, it's a very low level pursuit. Your mind will be blown what a real spiritual practice can do for you. Peace is nothing. Peace is a byproduct or a side effect, okay, of a very healthy spiritual path. It's just a side effect. It's just something that naturally happens. You don't even have to pursue peace, DCM got try Roblox. I don't know what is Roblox. David Yo, Singapore can travel across Malaysia, need fully vaccine via daily travel. Okay, interesting. That's nice to know. Nice to know that it's opening up gradually. Ruby, is it difficult to reach one's past life? Well, it took me more than 15 years of active spiritual practice to reach the state where I can clearly see my karmic structure and therefore understand my past lives. So yeah, work hard. One day you'll come. And thank you. Ruby, just try to be what you want to be now. Yeah. DCM, what's better than peace? Oh, that's a good question. Very rarely DCM asks good question. This is a good question. What is better than peace? Now, a lot of people make peace the pursuit of life, when peace is actually a prerequisite of life. Peace is not a goal. Peace is a prerequisite if you want to live life. If you have no peace in your heart, whatever food you eat has no taste. If you have no peace in your heart, you cannot enjoy a love relationship. If you're a man, you know this. If you have no peace, you can't even have sex. If you're a man, you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. Peace is a prerequisite to experiencing life. It's not a goal on its own at all. If you have no peace, you're not even living a life. And I'm sad to say that that's probably 99% of the people out there. Yeah. Human beings are born into peace. but introduced into restlessness. You just have to learn to get back to that state. And once you get back to the state, what is better than peace? Everything about life. You start to be able to live life the way life is. That is better than peace. Because without peace, you don't know life. Without peace, you don't know the true taste of even a fruit. Without peace, you cannot even appreciate the true beauty of a flower. So isn't that much more powerful and much better than peace? The real experience of life itself is the goal. Retro, so glad I found this. You found what? A toy under your bed? How pursue eternal bliss? Yeah. David, bad news is new virus. You are in USA now with your wife? No, I'm not in USA. I'm in Istanbul. Oh. My wife is in USA. I'm in Istanbul. Turkey. You're glad you found this chat. Oh, why? Okay, for those of you who just join my live stream, this week is going to be a very exciting week, okay? Because all of you have been asking me to show you guys the Hagia Sophia, the which is the Acropolis of Constantinople, right? And I'm always too lazy to go. For more than 1 year of being in Istanbul, I've never been there. Yeah, because why? It's about I think about 2 to 2.5 hours walk from my home. Okay, and I only walk. But this week, for some personal reason, I have to be in around the area. So this Friday, I will be streaming from the Hagia Sophia. I will be showing you guys the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque area, tourist area. I'm not interested in tourist area, but that's arguably the Eiffel Tower of Istanbul. But I don't even care about Eiffel Tower. When I was in Paris, I never even visited the Eiffel Tower. So yes, I'm that boring a kind of person. Okay, but stay tuned. Because of my obligations, I have to be there, and therefore we can go visit the Hagia Sophia together this Friday. And this week, I'm also making a video that answers DCM's question. DCM asked me, what's the difference between living in a communist country and a capitalist country? And I made a video about this because I lived 10 years in China. That's the only communist country I've ever lived in my life. And I compare that with every country that I've ever lived in. There's non-communist, and I made a video, so stay tuned for that. All coming up this week. Yeah. David, USA 50% not fully vaccinated. Most don't believe it. Oh, I don't know. Don't really care. How does it matter to my daily life? It matters nothing. Retro, glad I found this chat for spiritual conversation. Ah, I see. Yeah. I hope. I think I hope to draw this kind of audience who I can really who can really make the world a better place, rather than by making the world happier 1% at a time, by making people non-divisive, holistic human beings, one human being at a time. Let's stop the divisive nonsense in the world. Yeah. And honestly, anyone who talks divisive things, immediately I don't talk to them anymore. Because why? You say, well, you should try to change them. Well, it's not my mission to do that. Yeah. My mission is to spread energy, not to teach people what to do. If they're already like that, there's nothing I can or will do. I'm not Jesus. Yeah. And therefore, yeah, anyone who spreads divisiveness, I would ignore on my chat. And yeah, there's no worse feeling than getting ignored. And see, this is the other thing why I keep saying that I don't care about making friends. Because people pretend to be friendly, pretend to be my friend until I say something that disagree with what they believe, and then they will hate me straight away. And again, I see it time and again. So I have no faith in unenlightened relationships, so as to speak. And therefore, I just don't make friends in real life. So some of you keep asking me, oh, I'm in the Sicily area, in the Besiktas area, can I meet you? I simply say I have no time. But honestly, it's because I don't want to take on your bullshit. Yeah. Unless I know you to be a highly enlightened person whom we can vibrate and share energy and real spiritual depth in real life, honestly, I don't want to meet you. You deal with your karma yourself. I'm not going to take it on for you. David Yo, are you vaccinated already? Yeah, I'm fully vaccinated, Pfizer. David, you're China bad now. Jack Ma be controlled by government. Yeah, yeah. That's why I keep saying, in China, when you're rich and powerful, that's when you cannot talk about the government. Yeah, but in China, when you're not rich and powerful, you can talk about the government all you want. Nothing will happen. But in Singapore, I'm not rich. I'm not powerful. But I only made one single sentence against one policy, and I got driven out of Singapore. So compare, which is more communist? David Yo, yes, same you. Yeah, yeah, same me. Yeah, that's. But you see, that's a difference, David. I got driven away from Singapore as a nobody talking about the government, but Jack Ma get into trouble in China for being a somebody talking about government. I talked about the China government a lot when those 10 years I was in China as well, and I never got in trouble. And a lot of people bash the Chinese government online. Nobody gets into trouble. Why? You're nobody. They don't care. They care only when you're somebody and you talk bad about the government. But in Singapore, you can be a nobody. Like right now, if I'm streaming from Singapore, I won't even dare say this. There's no living. There's no way I'm going to that country anymore. There's no way to live like this. Yes, I was driven out of Singapore. I never intended to be in Istanbul. Istanbul was an accident. I didn't have any winter clothes. I bought all my winter clothes here. I'm supposed to be in Singapore last year, 1 year ago. Yeah, I don't want to go into that story anymore. In history, had a bold monk commit suicide by burning alive. Not just one, a lot of Thai monks do that, and monks do that to show something that they cannot suffer. Even by burning, they cannot suffer. Yeah. So it's a very holy thing. It's not a bad thing. David Yo, my friends think is whatever. He too rich. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's why I keep saying, no. You guys ask me like, how long do I plan to be in Istanbul? How do I? No, I don't. I have no plan. First of all, I have no plans to be in Istanbul. Nothing follows my plan. I have no plans to be in Istanbul. And I have no plans to be here for more than a year now. I don't plan nothing. I just let life happen. Whatever happens, happens. L Dizon, why don't you go to the US to be with your wife? Right now, I know. First, I came to Istanbul to train. Actually, last year when I decided to come to Istanbul, New York was in full lockdown, so there was no training. I was I was aiming to be a world champion fighter in my category for MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I looked at the whole world map. Only other than Singapore, only Istanbul has no restrictions and no lockdowns and open for trainings. That's why I came. So I trained here for full time for more than 6 months. Yeah, before I injured myself. So after I injured myself, I kind of like, well, since I'm pretty much nothing to do in US, and I still have a very long, like I still have visa left here, so might as well just continue to experience the life here. Me and my wife, we're not dependent on each other, either financially or emotionally. Yeah, we will get together, but right now, why? I have nothing to do there anyways. Retro, what do you want to say today? What do I want to say today? What do you mean? I don't understand. I don't have a message. Every day I turn on this live stream just to chit chat with no agenda and no this thing, okay? David, your best wishes, 40 plus plus, live happy and happy. Yeah. Thank you, David. Be careful, David. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah. See, guys, that's why, in the end of the day, okay, if you want to ask me for my message of the day, my message of the day is this: every kind of label in this world is divisive. When you wear a label, you're being divisive. If you label yourself as a Christian, you're being divisive. Why? Because immediately you're dividing yourself from non-Christians. If you label yourself as a Muslim, immediately you're being divisive. Why? Because you're now dividing yourself from the rest of people who are not Muslim. When you label yourself as a professor or a degree holder, immediately you're dividing yourself from people who are not. That's why you realize that I never mention my name, my schools, my country, anything. I don't take on any labels. This is the only time and the only way you will see me as a real human being. The moment you know any of my labels, you start to see me as a label. You start to see me, oh, he's an options trader, or he's a this, he's a that, he's from this, he's from that. You cannot define me that way. Basically broken all my karmic chains. I have no associations and karmic associations anymore or connections. Cannot define me by anything, not even ethnicity. Who knows my ethnicity? Nobody. Yeah, I wear no labels, and therefore I'm much closer to being a natural, original human being than anyone in the world right now. For most people in the world, but of course you can say that's being divisive yourself. You are a natural human being. We are not. Okay, that's the thing, when you can see it this way, you're the divisiveness in your head, and that's the problem with 99% of people. That's the problem in the world today. When more and more people are like this, human beings will start to come together as a whole humanity. That's when we see real happiness and real peace. You're not gonna have happiness if only you are happy. Imagine being happy in the saddest country in the world. It just cannot happen. Everything you experience about life is dependent on everything and everybody else around you. Everybody, this world has to be a better place for you to be happy. For most people, I don't care. I make money, I'm happy, I don't care about other people. It cannot happen. Because by the time you make your money, you will find that you are still not happy. Yeah. If you're asking me for my message of the day, this is my message of the day. Yeah. And I will mercilessly block and ignore anyone who are openly divisive. Yeah. Alpha, so how is the day? Oh, Alpha is just about ending. Alpha is from Kathmandu. Just about ending. Retro, have you seen Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee? Yeah, I know a Shannon Lee. The new book, I don't read books, so I don't know about the books. But there's only one book I read about Bruce Lee, which is Bruce Lee wrote one and only book that was not published. It was posthumously published by his wife. Okay, I read that book more than 30 years ago, which is the Tao of Kung Fu. That's an actual book written by Bruce Lee himself, the Tao of Kung Fu, which is published after he died by his wife because he was still working on the book while before he died. Yeah, so that's the only book about and from Bruce Lee that I've ever read. Very deep, the Tao of Kung Fu, very deep. Retro, I mean, if you stop for a minute to clear your mind, what would you want to say today? Nothing. If I return back to my original meditative state, there is nothing I want to say. I will be one with the world. I'll be 天人合一. It means I'll be one with heaven. And that means one with heaven means one with nature. And there's nothing to say. There is no words to say. You just be. You just am. There will be nothing to say. That's why in order to do this live chat, I need to consciously take on a personality structure or ego structure to do this. That's why most enlightened people, they don't teach. It's simply impossible. If you are enlightened and you dissolve your personality and your karma, you become one with nature. There's nothing to communicate about to anyone. There's nothing to teach to anyone anymore. So all spiritual not every enlightened person can become a spiritual teacher. Those who are spiritual teachers, when they are enlightened, see, I know today there's a lot of people who are enlightened spiritual teacher. Yeah, those people consciously and deliberately take on karma, which means they take on they already dissolve their karma, but they consciously take it on back again to create a personality in order to be able to teach anything to the world. Otherwise, communication itself would be impossible. Eckhart Tolle, Sadhguru, all these people, yeah, They all consciously take on a personality. That's why a lot of people say, oh, there's inconsistency in the way they behave, there's inconsistency in the way they talk. You know, what they say and how they behave is not how an enlightened person or enlightened state is. Yes, of course it's not. They have to take on an unenlightened ego in order to teach in the first place. Yes, that's the thing. Most people don't know that until you reach that stage yourself, you won't even understand. Kim Teo can define you as a male. Yeah, Kim, even that is iffy. If you know me in real life, one of my previous girlfriends who know me very deeply, okay, this is what this is what she concluded about me after a few years. You are just a little girl dressed in the body of a man. That's her conclusion about me. And she's not trying to demean me. The context, you need to understand the context of our discussion. But without going to the context of the discussion that I'm telling you, she's not trying to demean me, but she's actually telling me a real observation that I'm actually neither male or female. Yeah. In terms of energy. DCM can explain jealous feeling. Wow, DCM is asking good questions lately. I'm beginning to like DCM, of course. Liking and dislike is a problem as well. Right there, I admit that. But I'm not sorry about it. I have to have that to do this live stream, you know. Okay, how do we explain jealous feeling? Very, very interesting question. But jealousy is like there's actually no such thing as jealousy. There's only hatred. Jealousy is a form of hatred, you know. Jealousy is a form of hatred which you're ashamed to show that is hatred. Jealousy is like water boiling in a pot. Want to explode, but too shy to explode. Just you know, that's jealousy. When you're jealous about someone, you're actually hating that person. About what? You're hating the person for having or doing something that you cannot. It's a hatred against something. Okay? You're hating someone for having something you don't have. You're hating a girl whom you think you own for doing something that with someone else that you cannot. It's actually hatred towards the world and yourself. It's a very deep form of hatred, jealousy. By the time you dissolve all these kind of things, right, when you come to a true love about yourself, things like jealousy melts away. I don't even know how jealousy feels anymore. I forgot that feeling. Yeah. If you love yourself enough, that will go away because hatred will go away. When there's no hatred in your heart, there's no jealousy. Jealousy is a form of hatred against yourself primarily, not against other people. When you say you're jealous against these people for having a Ferrari, what you're really saying is, I hate myself for not being able to drive a Ferrari. When you say I'm jealous against this guy for talking to my girlfriend, so happy, what you're saying is I hate myself for not being able to give my girlfriend that same happiness. Everything is all self-directed hatred. And until you come to the point where you really love yourself deeply, I love myself most in this world. That I can tell you 100%. I love myself more than anything in this world, more than my wife, more than anything. Yeah, I am my first love. Okay, you can call that whatever you call that. People who don't understand self-love call it selfishness. I don't care. You can call it selfishness if you want. But until you can do that, until you love everything about yourself, the way you look, the way you think, the way you are, everything that you are, until you love yourself so deeply, all these things won't disappear. Then you always live with these petty emotions. I call this petty emotions because these things blind you from reality. What's reality? The guy is driving a Ferrari. Well, he's driving a Ferrari. That's reality. You see the reality as it is. But you can't even see this reality. All you're seeing is, I hate myself for having no Ferrari. That's all you see. You don't see reality. I hate myself for not making my girlfriend happy. I hate myself for loving you. Can't break free from the things that you do. I wanna run back to you. That's what I hate myself for loving you. Boom, 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 boom. David Yo, all daily life. Have you seen this, bro? It's best, you know. I've not watched any other live streams, and I don't actually follow any other YouTube channels. Yeah. Good morning. Today at home. Yep, at home, and I've been explaining why I'm at home all day, so I'm not gonna explain. DCM, how to get enlightened? Another good question. Follow a spiritual practice. And the most basic and the most entry level spiritual practice you can keep doing to one day get enlightened is my Story World meditation system that I give away for free on my channel. Go to my channel, search for Story World. Just do that, 5 steps. Do that for 10 years, 20 years. Who knows? Who knows, you may get it in a snap. It doesn't take time. It doesn't take time. Okay? It's not about time. Whisper, still in Istanbul? Cool. Hi, Whisper. Yeah, still in Istanbul. Is it true that Japanese and Chinese and Korean guys only can be born with dark color hair? Yeah, it's true. But except albinos, there are albino East Asians as well. Albinos will be born with blonde hair. Oh, and one thing. Even though it's true for Korean and Japanese, I can't say about Chinese. You know why? What you call Chinese is a very complex race. Chinese is not one ethnicity. See, this is what most Westerners do not understand. I think most Asians understand this, that there is no one Chinese. Most Westerners see this and they say, "Oh, this kind of face is Chinese." No, Chinese is a combination, is a China and Chinese population is a multicultural population made out of 56 different ethnicities. Of course, Hagin, 52 are minorities, and we're talking about only 4 major ethnicities, and they are a mix of many different ethnicities. And I know Chinese who are Russian Chinese, who are Korean Chinese, and are fully Chinese. They look different. Some have blonde hair Chinese, Arabian Chinese, Chinese who look Arabian, Chinese who look Turkish. Yeah, you cannot say they're not Chinese. They're all Chinese. So we have to be very clear that there's not one Chinese. And therefore, honestly, to be very technically correct, I cannot say that all Chinese are born with yellow hair, because I have Chinese friends who are born with blonde hair and big, right? Because he's Chinese Russian Chinese or Chinese Russian. Yeah. Retro, you have to come first. Low. No. Go, is it a problem you have no little jealousy or cannot be excited about? No, it's not a problem. It's peace. Go, don't you find that when you're constantly jealous and constantly excited by this and that, you're always restless? You have no peace. You realize? And the thing is, like I explained, you cannot see reality as it is. When you can get rid of all these petty emotions, that's why just now we were talking about peace is not a goal. When you can do this, peace is a constant state of life. And when you are at peace, this is when the only time you can experience what the real world is about. When you have no peace, whatever you eat, you don't know the real taste. You have no peace when you're in a relationship, you don't know real love. When you have no peace, you look at a scene, you stand on top of a mountain in a nice scenery place, you don't see the scene, you only see the garbage in your head. Yeah? Peace is the necessary prerequisite to experiencing life. And if you're bogged down by petty emotions all the time and you're always restless, there's no peace, which means you never experience one moment of life itself. Agree. Whisper. Agree. When we were little, it was difficult to tell Japanese, Korean, and Chinese apart, and the language too. Yeah, exactly. In fact, for most East Asians, most East Asians still cannot tell Korean language and Japanese language apart. When they hear, it sounds exactly the same. That's why a lot of East Asians have this misunderstanding that Korean culture and Japanese cultures are very close. No, actually they are complete polar opposites in their details. DCM got a lot of cat emo. Today I wanted to go to see Mr. Mok, if not for the rain. Actually, I wanted to go to MOC Cafe to see Mr. Mok. So guys, tomorrow I'll be back with my cute Mr. Mok. In case you guys don't know who is Mr. Mok, the cat that I always do my short videos with. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to visit the cat again. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And later this week, I'll be bringing you guys to the Hagia Sophia, which is the Acropolis of Constantinople. You're coming up this Friday. This Friday morning, I'll be streaming from the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque area, because I happen to be in that area this Friday, right? It's a 2.5 hours walk from my home, so I have to start walking very early. Retro, I think you need the to feather the ends. This, yeah. No, it's because you see, I cut everything properly, yeah. But this, just a little bit, just like maybe half a centimeter. That's the problem. This half a centimeter will just bother me no end. And you want this, you cannot feather. You must be straight. This the Korean hairstyle. You gotta be straight. You cannot feather. No, cannot feather. No. You cannot feather. Once you feather, you lose this. There's a different style. You want the Korean style, you have to be straight. Okay, straight. You feather, it won't work. Okay. Okay, 1 hour 45 minutes. Oh, I still have good battery. See, that's the good thing about streaming from home. You know, why? Because I'm not out there. It's not cold. The battery doesn't go down that quickly. Whisper. What about the eyes? Are they always brown? Dark brown and black. Most Northeast Asians have dark brown, and Southeast Asians have black. I have dark brown. I'm not black eyes. I'm dark brown. Yeah. I'm a complete East Asian genetics. Southeast Asians have black eyes. Yeah. Yeah, black. Very black. Black IP, you know? Black IP, real black. Really black eyes, yes. That's scary. Okay, so yeah, 1 hour 45. See, these days my live stream is pushing 2 hours all the time. You know, but the thing is this: when it's good, it's 2 hours. When nobody comes, it's 5 minutes. So it's very extreme these days. So it's either very, very long or very, very short. Yeah. I really love to stream from home. Really. Oh, I can talk however I like. I have a comfortable surrounding. Show you guys my home. This is my living room, by the way. I clear out my tea table to one corner. Actually, the tea table used to be here because I practice all my martial arts, my yoga and everything here. So I bought all this yoga mat and I mat up this is actually the living room area. The living room, really big. And then going to the side rooms, I have 2 rooms. I have a 1 bedroom here, which I'm using as my closet, and my main bedroom here, and the toilet, and the kitchen, and my prana meal of the day. Yeah, so this is my home. Very cozy actually. I could like stay indoors for months in this condition. Retro, nice place. Yeah, very nice. It's a service hotel. So a few times a week, the service lady, the housekeeper, comes to clean out the whole place, change my bed sheets, change everything. The only thing I need to do is wash my own clothes. Yeah. She even do all my dishes. Yeah. So I actually live a very good life here in Istanbul, by the way. No? Istanbul life is really good for me. I live a far better life here than in New York, to be honest. That's why I'm so attached to Istanbul, you know. So some people ask me, oh, why don't I go back to New York? Honestly, I really love living here. That's the thing. I really love being here. You know. And as you can see, where I show you the neighborhood, beautiful, peaceful neighborhood as well. Very quiet. You don't hear cars at all, yeah? You don't hear cars, you don't hear the kind of things, you know? You don't hear gunshots. Yeah, you know, back in New York at night, I hear gunshots all the time. Looks good. Do you have to hunch back when using a laptop? Plays quite low. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I do. But I don't have a better place to put this whole setup. Because this table, my dining table is too small for this whole setup actually. My mouse pad comes off the side, you know? So that's the only place big enough for my laptop. That's a TV. So I gotta paste all my stuff all over the TV because I don't watch TV anyways. And of course I need my dining table to eat. So This is the only way I can do this. But of course, if you guys have seen my computer in Korea and in New York, right? I sit on the floor. Yeah, either way, yeah, I always sit on the floor. Both my computer rigs in Korea and New York, they are all floor table based. Okay, I still have a lot of battery. See, that's the good thing, because do you guys know battery goes down way quicker uh in the cold. When it's cold, battery goes down very fast. But when it's warm like this right here at home, very warm home, yeah, because of the heater, battery goes down very slowly. I can do this for a very long time. And if I need to, I can still plug in the battery. Streaming from home is the best. Okay, come. Show of hands. Who enjoy my live stream more when I'm streaming from home? Show of hands, please. If I see a lot of people enjoy the live stream more when I stream from home, then why do I go through all the trouble of going out there and doing it in some cafe all the time? Yeah, let's all save the trouble, save the money as well. I spend an extra $200 a month just doing that. Come, show a hand. Who enjoys my stream more when I stream from home? Show of hands. Tressa, wow, Tressa rarely respond. I really appreciate. Goes to show what a big difference this is. Retro, wow. Anymore? I'll wait for some response. Because honestly, it takes too much effort and money and energy to do it outside. Honestly, I don't even. It takes twice the amount of energy to do outside because I'm not only giving energy to you guys through in the live stream, but I'm using half the conscious energy to mind everything around me, the people around me, the environment. I do a lot of environmental control out there. I need to monitor a lot of things around me while doing the live stream. It drains my energy a lot. Coffee is expensive. Yeah. And to go out there and hang out everywhere just to look for a place, it all takes time and energy. And in the end, if I'm not making the live stream more interesting by being out there, significantly more interesting, why don't I just do it from home? You guys know this live stream started from home, started from as Limpeh's Friday morning live stream. Every Friday morning, I stream from this angle, this seat, every Friday morning. This was how it started. And then after a while, being at home, showing you guys this thing, since I'm in Istanbul, people are curious about Istanbul. That's when I started going out there to show you guys Istanbul while doing this chat. It's never been about, wow, so many hands, wow. Go, enjoy both, to be honest. Oh, yeah. Retro, you're less stressed out at home. Yes, Kim. Oh, even Kim Teo. Yes, I'm actually quite stressed out. Streaming outside, it takes a lot of energy to monitor everything in my environment and all the people around me. I have to take care of a lot of things. How quickly I'm finishing my coffee, is the boss minding that I'm sitting here without a full coffee, are other people being disturbed, how's the lighting, how's everything happening, a lot of things I have to take care of. Retro, you can stream outside when you feel like it. Yeah, if this is the case, I want to do like a 50-50 thing. Like half the time I want to stream from home, honestly. And streaming from home, I don't have to leave home early just to look for a place. Just looking for a place that I'm wasting almost as much time. At least half an hour I'm wasting looking for a place to go to. Yo, I'm a hugging. Being able to have an excuse to go out there is one of the main points of doing this live stream, because like I mentioned, if not for this live stream, I won't even leave home. I'm hikikomori. I'm a complete house. I can stay indoors for months, and that's my preference, my real personal preference. I don't like to go out. I don't need to go out. I'm self-sustaining out in here until I need to buy groceries or buy food. And in fact, there was a time where I simply order. Even my groceries, I can order online. I don't even have to go out for that. Crystal Moon, I like both. Wow. Then okay. Then at least a couple of times a week, right? I'll be streaming from home. Yeah. Honestly, home is way better for me. Like way better. Yo. But tomorrow, I still miss Mr. Mock. I still want to go to Mock Cafe. Tomorrow, I want to see Mr. Mock. Actually, today I wanted to see Mr. Mock. If not for the rain, I would have gone. Because it's raining this morning quite heavily. That's why I didn't want to leave home. And then that's why I stream from home. But tomorrow, I do want to see Mr. Mock. Yeah. Go, whatever you enjoy is best. The energy from you is what keeps me. Exactly, yeah. It's all about the energy, yeah. So that's why like my priority is really should be to keep the energy rather than anything else. On the premise and upon the basis of keeping the energy, then I add on other things. Yeah. Lately, guys, tell you guys one thing that I'm experimenting with. Guys, I've never stopped being in martial arts, right? And because of my injury 6 months ago, I stopped my dream of becoming a world champion in MMA. Yeah, but lately I have a sudden interest to experiment with a weapon that I've never. I don't know why I should have done this weapon a long time ago because it's so common, but I've never done it. The jian, the sword, the Chinese sword. I've never done it before. I've done samurai, I've done everything. Right now, my best weapon is my katana, my daisho, and not just katana, and my wakizashi. That's my best trained weapon right now. But lately, I'm very curious about the Chinese jian, the Chinese sword. And so I tried to experiment with the dynamics because I don't have a sword here, so I've just used finger. Huh? And I realized one thing: my injury is so bad, I can't do this. I feel the pain. Just this. Just this. I feel the pain. Quite sad actually. That means I can't even do proper martial anymore. I can't even. Oh, you can hear clack, 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 clack. I can't even stretch out my arm properly or thrust. Sword is all about thrusting. The katana or the saber is all about cutting, cutting, cutting. But sword is all about like this, like rapier. It's a thrusting weapon. It's like ippy. And my shoulder, I can't thrust. Quite sad, This seems to suggest indeed my martial, my 40 years of martial career come to an end. Quite sad about this actually. Oh. Anyone here train in sword, in wushu sword or something? I can't believe I've never trained in this weapon before. So common. Why have I not trained in this weapon before? I should have trained in this back when I was in China. Huh? Why didn't I train this before? I cannot understand. I train in Baguazhang, I train in Xingyi, I train in Xingyi Liuhe, I train in Wing Chun. I just never train in the Kim or the sword or the jian. Weird. I don't know why. When it's so common in China. And I train in the staff as well. I just never trained in a sword. And it's so common. When I was training in Xingyi Liuhe back in Shanghai, in the same park, we train in parks. So there's no schools. Okay, the masters don't open schools. The masters all teach in parks because it's free. You don't have to pay rental. And martial arts doesn't make a lot of money. So when I'm training Xingyi Liuhe Quan or Xingyi, there are a lot of people training swords in the same park, and I just never got curious enough to learn. I don't know why. Looks like nobody's interested in martial arts talk here. Oh well, that's kind of like that. My number one love in life, or my number one hobby. Nobody's interested. So sad. Okay, so 2 hours live stream. All right, let's finish on the 2 hour mark. So in 1 more minute, any final words, anyone? Nobody, yeah? Okay. So that does it. Thank you guys for joining me once, and thank you guys for enjoying my live stream at home. Right. So I'm gonna try to do more live streams at home. I think I have better energy at home because I don't have to take care of the environment and other people so much. You know. And Laura, have a great start of the week and have a very great week ahead, everybody. Next week is Christmas week. If you're in a country that with holiday around the area, so you must be quite excited. The final week before holiday weeks, and therefore the final full trading or working week of 2021. Make it a good one, guys. Annyeong.